here we are by the sea again. I have a short story for you, written in 1554, called The Cobbler Blondeau. There was a cobbler of Paris who was called Blondeau. He lived near the Croix de Tireur, and there he mended shoes, taking life joyfully and loving good wine above everything. And he was ready to share it with all who came, for if the whole parish had come to him, he would have given them a glass, and they would all have wanted more of it, for it was good. All day long he sang and delighted his neighbours. He was never mournful but twice in his life. On the first occasion he found in an old wall an iron pot containing a large quantity of antique pieces of money, some of silver and some of gold. He did not know how much they were worth, and he began to grow moody. His song ceased, and he thought only of his iron pot. "If the money is not current," he thought to himself, "I shall not be able to buy either bread or wine with it. If I take it to the goldsmiths, they will either betray me, and I shall lose the treasure trove, or they will stick me with a large share of the find, and I shall not get the half of what it's worth." Then he became afraid that he had not hidden the pot properly, and that someone would steal it from him. He was continually leaving his tent to go and see if it was safe. He was in the greatest trouble in the world, but at last he pulled himself together. "What?" he said. "I do nothing but think of my pot. Everyone who knows my ways must see that something has happened to me. Bah! The devil take the thing, it only brings me bad luck." So he took the treasure up gaily and threw it into the Seine, and thus drowned his melancholy with his pot. On another occasion he was much upset by a gentleman who dwelt opposite to his shelter. This gentleman had a monkey that played 1,000 tricks on poor Blondeau, for the animal watched him from a high window when he was cutting his leather, and noticed how he did it. As soon as Blondeau went to dinner, or left on some other business, the monkey came down, darted into Blondeau's tent, took his knife, and cut the leather about in imitation of the cobbler. And this went on every time that Blondeau went away. The poor man at last dared not to go out to eat or drink or leave his business without locking up all of his leather. And if sometimes he forgot to shut it away, the monkey never forgot to cut it up into shreds for him. The thing angered him greatly, but he was not able to hurt the monkey for fear of his master. But, being greatly annoyed, he resolved to find a means of avenging himself. He clearly saw in what way the monkey acted. This was to imitate everything he saw the cobbler do. If Blondeau sharpened his shoe knife, the monkey sharpened it after him. If he waxed his thread, the monkey also did it. If he sold some old boots, the monkey came and took a boot between his knees and tried to do the same. Having studied the matter in this way, Blondeau sharpened his shoe knife until it cut like a razor. Then, when the monkey came out to watch him, he took up the shoe knife and drew it backward and forwards over his throat. And when he had done this long enough to attract the notice of the monkey, he left his booth and went to dinner. The monkey came down in desperate haste, for it wished to try out this new game that it had just been studying. It took the shoe knife and put it against its throat, drawing it backwards and forwards as Blondeau had done. The animal, however, brought the knife too close to its throat and cut it so badly that it died within an hour. Thus Blondeau was avenged on his enemy without danger to himself, and when he returned to his early habit of singing, taking life joyfully, and in this way he continued till the day of his death. And in remembrance of the glad life he had led, this epitaph was made for him. Underneath this stone is laid, Blondeau, who plied a cobbler's trade. Hoarded wealth he held in scorn, and died as poor as he was born. Yet now for him his neighbours pine. He taught them all to know good wine.